Hi guys, and welcome to another episode on Amazonia YouTube channel. And today we've chosen a very special guest, Fatos from Maxamaze, and she will be talking about how important it is to have an A+ content, how to optimize it and make your listing absolutely perfect. So Fatos, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Igor.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, so we've been talking a few moments already. So I saw that you already started to talk so many interesting points. So I just wanted to start recording. So Patos, tell us in a nutshell just who you are, what you do, and then we'll just skip to the subject. And yeah, I'll be interrupting a lot with the questions because I want to learn more and I want to emphasize the importance of having a proper listing and proper A+ content. So over to you.
Yes, so I'm Fatos. I'm the founder of Maxamaze. We are an Amazon creative agency. I originally started as a private label seller, so I've been through the entire journey on Amazon. At Maxamaze, we focus on optimizing listings, creating all the content from photography and videos to A+ content, storefront design. And our job is to make listings as powerful as they can be, to maximize for clicks and maximize for conversions. So we are, representing the brand, building the brand identity, and making the shopping journey as easy as possible for the shopper.
Nice. Thank you very much. So yeah, for starters, I would like to cover some basics. So the differences between the regular A+ and the premium A+, and what are the differences. If you have something prepared, you are free to share if you like, or we can do that later, whatever you like.
Yeah, we can start and then I can share and talk through some slides as well. But yeah, so A+ content, what is A+ content? People still call it EBC as well. It used to be known as enhanced brand content. So it's the section that sits at the bottom of the listing where the product description would be if you were adding a product description just with text. It's becoming increasingly important as part of your product detail page. It's a larger space to talk about features and benefits and a little bit about the brand. So yeah, it's and larger sized images. So visually, it's all about visuals.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things. It's a must-have. In the past, it was like there was a decision if if the sellers want to go with brand registry or not. But nowadays, I think that's a must. So you need to go through the brand registry. You need to have A+ content, if possible, A+ premium. So it's not like I wouldn't call it now enhanced. So that's the basics. So whoever doesn't get that is left out of the game, and it's just missing out on sales.
Totally. And again, the question about brand registry is an absolute must, because if you're not brand registered, having brand analytics and all of that information is just absolutely essential. Yeah, and A+ content as well is part of that.
Right. Throughout this video, I really want to emphasize how important it is in driving the conversion rates and actually providing all the information and how you guys can help brand owners tell the story about their brand. Because yes, it can be done like do it yourself basis, but it's about those fine differences and fine details. Is it just a bunch of photos on the A+ content with some text on it done by AI or some whatever software, or is it done by human really with a nice touch of design and graphics and aesthetics and etc. So it's really something that I want people to have as a takeaway after this call. So I know that you prepare something, so if you can just guide us through it, and I'll be sure to ask additional questions.
Yeah, definitely. So very quickly, we still use real humans mostly in our photography. We use a little bit of AI to help with certain things, but
Yeah,
overall, it's not just a bunch of images. It's about telling a story. You have to have a plan. What is it that you need to highlight about the products, features, benefits, how to use, size charts, all of those things to remove friction in the shopping journey. Um, so yes, and also these days with Rufus as well, the text that you put in your images is really important. So you need to make sure you're including your keywords. So there's a lot of planning that goes into it. It's not just a case of pick a module, drop some images in, and you're ready
yeah.
to go. There's a lot more to it. So yeah, let me share some slides and we can talk through it. I'm going to talk about the difference between basic and premium A plus content. So I'm basically assuming that everybody knows what A plus content is.
Yeah.
So why would you choose premium and what makes it better than basic? So I'll just run through this quickly. So the first
Sorry,
thing
Fatos,
is
can you just go full screen maybe?
yes. Hang on.
Where was
Let's
it?
do,
That's Microsoft Office, maybe on the right. Because
yeah. Hang
then
on.
I'm not that.
Let,
Last several times I did use it was from Google.
okay, here we go.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we've got full screen. You can see the slides. So yeah, what is basic versus premium? The main differences are there are two big differences that make premium superior to basic fundamentally. So more real estate, you get more space, and there are more interactive features. There's a lot more that you can do with it. And so why do these matter? More real estate, bigger images attract attention more. They sort of grab the shopper's attention. So you get more engagement from that, but also having interactive features where people can click, which we'll go through some of those in a moment, keep people engaged with your listing more. And more engagement means they're on the page for longer. And that means it has two benefits. One is that there's a higher chance of a conversion of people buying,
right.
but also the longer time people spend looking at your listing, that's something that the algorithm likes. So it means that your listing is likely to get shown up more. So there are two advantages.
Yeah.
Conversion rate impact when you change from basic to premium A plus content, the published data says that with basic A plus content, it will help boost your conversion. So this is compared to a listing that has no A plus content. If you implement basic, you can expect between 3 and 10% increase in conversion rate. With premium, up to 15%. But what we are finding is that we're seeing increases in like up to 300% in some cases. So the potential impact, if it's done well, is much, much higher than the published average, because bear in mind, those published numbers are an average, which takes into
Yeah.
account A plus content that's really good, but some that's really not good.
Yeah. On
So
Amazon, yeah, sorry to interrupt. On Amazon, I don't like their averages at all because most of the
yeah,
time you cannot compare it correctly. Like, is it a product? Is it a product for $5 or $15 in the same category? So those will be much different in terms of conversion rate. But yeah, even the 3 to 10% is huge when you think about the conversions. Not to mention 15 or 20 or 30%. That's a game changer for somebody on Amazon.
exactly. So it's really, really key to have it. And why conversion is king, as we know. um you need to try and maximize your conversions, because it helps with your ranking, with your listing getting shown. It is absolutely key. It makes your PPC works so much better. You get a lot more sales for your PPC spend. So it's really absolutely important to make sure that you're doing the very best that you can to get your conversion rate up. Yeah, so higher conversions equals more profit, which is what we were just saying. So convert more of your clicks. Absolutely.
We love that. We love that.
Yeah, it's more money. More conversions equals more money. And so premium only features, basic A plus was a really good thing to have, but now with premium A plus, there's so much more that we can do. And just want to quickly run through some of those improved and upgraded features. So we did say, larger image sizes. That's one of them. So this is just images across my computer screen comparing the size of basic and premium. So if you look at the difference, like the premium is the one at the top, it just takes up so much more space and it's going to grab attention. So that's like one big plus. So image sizes, these are the image sizes. Video, now in Premium A Plus content, you can put your video in a video module and people just click on it and it will play the video. And moving images, videos are great because they keep people engaged. We love looking at moving images.
Yeah, that's huge.
And so that's great. And there are various different video modules. So for example, this is a full video. So it's the entire module. It's a big picture and you click on it. Or you can have video carousels, which are great if you've got a lot of UGC, for example. So you can add multiple videos and people can just scroll through them and watch them. Or, you can have a video with text. So you have a little bit of an explanation and then they can play the video as well. So, it's not just that you can have video, you can have various different ways of implementing video in your Premium A+. Carousels are a feature that we love because, you can just click on the arrow and the images scroll. Those scrolling images, being able to click just keeps people on the page. And carousels are a great way to add more real estate as well, because when you think about it, if you add 4 carousel slides, that's like another 4 images. So it's even more stuff to show about your product. And they're a great way, for example, if you have a product that has lots of color variations, you can get a slide to show every single color, for example. So it gives you more space to talk about your product and to just get sales.
Like you said, it's in more real estate. So instead of one image for your keywords to be well designed on the image, but 4 times that. So that's good for Amazon Rufus, that's good for Amazon recognition tool. So it's good for everybody.
Exactly. And again, there are different types of carousel modules. So you can choose the one that works best for you. We custom design these so that you just see the image and the text that we put on them. But you can just use the standard ones. Another thing is, interactive comparison charts. You can move around, you can click, you can scroll. There are various different types of comparison charts that you can use. And these are great because you can showcase all your different products. Let's say you're selling a hair care range. You can have your shampoos, your conditioners, your hair masks. It just gives you all this extra space, and it helps with cross-selling as well. And you can now add to cart from your comparison chart. So much to do. Another thing you can use is hotspots, where when you hover over the product, you can see, information pops up. So if you're talking about a product range, people can just scroll over it. Oh, okay, this one's for dry hair. Another one is if you've got dandruff. Another one is if you've got thinning hair. So hotspots, again, are another premium only feature.
Yeah, that's
And
the hotspots. Sorry, hotspots are great for increasing that dwell time that Amazon actually measures on their storefront as well. So everybody wants to see what's behind the spot,
Exactly. And then, Q&A, drop-down Q&A modules are great. This is something, particularly if you've got a product that has high return rates because people don't really understand how to use it or how it works. Q&A modules are really something that you should leverage, because as well as selling as much as possible, we also want to minimize returns, because
Right.
returns are a loss. It costs you money and it's bad. You don't want returns.
Yeah,
So
the profit killer. Yeah.
exactly. So if you're getting people returning products saying, well, I thought this was what it was, but I got it and it wasn't how I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Preemptively in your Q&A, you can say, for example, is this product suitable for children below the age of 5? Because somebody might order it and say, I thought it was suitable for a 2-year-old, and I find out it's only for children 5+. So you can put that in your Q&A and say, no, it's only suitable for this age group. So that is hopefully going to help you to reduce your return rate.
Maybe the different sizes can be added. So if somebody's choosing like, this is how to do measurements if you're this tall or that size. So,
exactly. Yeah, lots of different uses. And so, premium versus basic A+ content, a lot of people say, well, but don't you have to be this or that to be eligible? These days, everybody who's brand registered effectively can have premium A+ content. In the old days, it was only available to big brands and it was very expensive. These days, everybody has access. So the criteria are, number one, you must be brand registered. You need to be for A+ content anyway. Number two, very important, a lot of people don't realize this, brand story has to be applied to every single one of your ASINs. So brand story is that other section below your main listing where you can talk about your brand, for anyone who's not sure about that. And then you need to have submitted and had approved 5 sets of A+ content in the last 12 months. That doesn't mean that they have to be unique sets of A+ content. It can be A+ content that you have, that maybe you've made some changes, you've resubmitted. Basically, if Amazon has given you 5 approvals, then in theory, you should be entitled to premium A+. And normally it resets on a Friday. Sometimes it can take a couple of weeks, but you should be eligible for A+. So.
That's good to know.
And that's it with the presentation, with the slides.
Nice. Yeah, nice and sweet. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, what are some of the averages that you see, average increases in conversion rate? So yeah, it can go up to 300, but let's say out of your 10 last projects that you did, what were the averages? So was it, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate even if it's an increase from 5% of conversion rate up to 7%, because when you take an average, let's say average 10,000 clicks, and I did that calculation. I have my fancy Excel sheet, actually ugly looking, but it paints the picture, where I added like $45 product and you have 10,000 clicks a month. And just by increasing from 4% of conversion rate to 6%, you get an increase of $15,000 in sales. just by increasing
Yeah.
by 2%. Not to mention if you go from 4 to 8, from 4 to 15, that's already, I mean, unmeasurable differences.
Yeah.
That gonna make somebody either decide not to sell on Amazon or add another product, if they excel at
Yeah.
that. So give us some average. How do you see that happening? Like what kind of increases?
They do vary, but we're seeing, we are often seeing conversion rates doubling. Um,
Wow. Yeah.
we recently had a client who we upgraded from basic to premium. So they already had A plus. We upgraded from basic to premium, and actually their sales, not conversion, but their sales within a week went up by 18%. So
That's
yeah,
quick and huge, right?
yeah, exactly. So it is, if it's done properly and you have obviously the right advertising strategy, that it all works hand in hand, they all work together,
Yeah.
then you are really going to, what you invest in, upgrading or just refreshing your content, is just going to pay back in heaps and heaps.
Right. PPC can be expensive, as everybody knows.
Yeah,
But when you break it down, like, okay, we as advertising specialists, we can drive meaningful traffic with selecting good
yeah,
keywords. We can bid
yeah,
properly and we'll use all the fancy tools that we have. But at the
yeah,
end of the day, it's not PPC that converts, it's the listing that
yeah,
converts. So if you do a terrible job, so imagine going to the actual brick and mortar store and you go in there and it's smelly and it's dirty and everything is piled over another, so nobody would buy. No, but nowadays they pay attention to anything, even the smell, the music inside the store.
yeah.
Everything needs to be perfectly aligned in order for us to spend more and to actually trust the brand. So it's not any different on Amazon or any other store. But yeah, but it's important to know that for A plus content to shine, they also need to have proper creatives. So I think that's what also your team does. So even the photo shoots, right, and everything. So A to Z service, right?
Exactly. With some products, we can work with, renders or stock images. For some products, we need to do photo shoots. So it's not a one size fits all. Every project is unique and bespoke. But also, yeah, we understand how the platform works and what we need to do with images. Like I said, with using the right keywords and the messaging, all of that is baked into the whole thing that comes out.
Right, right. Um, yeah. So to wrap up everything, I think it's really worth mentioning that the mobile. What I if I'm not mistaken, correct
Yes,
me. A plus
yes,
has a separate version for mobile, right?
yes. And the module sizes are different. So you have to design for mobile because most people are shopping on mobile. So yes, when we're designing it, we design for mobile. We create the desktop as
Yeah.
well.
So it's not like just resized, it's completely different on mobile. You can choose the different modules, right? That you wanna
You use, like, you use the same modules, like you use your video modules or your hotspots, but the way you implement them is different,
uh-huh.
and you have to adapt the design to work for mobile. So you keep it looking as, almost the same. It's pretty much the same, but you have to rearrange it. The module shapes and sizes are different. And with Amazon, as always, there are quirks. So, the video module on mobile, you still have to upload the desktop size, and a
Right.
lot of people don't realize that. And Yes, but this is the thing, mobile's very important. It's good that you touched on that. Basically, everything we design has to be mobile friendly.
Yeah.
So we avoid having lots of small text. The strategy is how can you get the message with the minimum amount of text and keeping the text as large and readable as possible.
Yeah, make it clear. That's why it
Yeah.
should be left to professionals. Everybody thinks that it's just about grab your uh, photo editor and just stuff things inside. Can you tell me, is it A plus content, A plus premium? When I say A plus, I immediately think about A plus premium, to be honest. But
Yeah. Yeah.
when you talk about A plus, is it a one-off job, or people should revisit that every now and then? If so, how often? So as, I don't know, trends change, or what do you think about it?
Definitely with all content, it isn't set it and forget it. It's about continual optimization. So, create good creatives, put them up there, but just always be tracking. A/B testing is really important for everything. I would recommend A/B testing different elements separately. So
Mhm.
I would not say do an A/B test where you're running a test on your main image and your A plus content and everything at the same time, because I think it can confuse the message.
Right.
So if you're going to test your main image, test your main image. If you're going to test, A plus, whatever, test it separately. But yes, you constantly need to be testing it and seeing, like, let's say you change. I mean, your keywords are going to change over time. They're going to change according to seasons,
Yeah.
because you have gifting season, so you need to change it. If you're selling a product that's a Father's Day gift,
Yeah.
something that's great for Father's Day, you need to make sure that, in the run up to Father's Day, obviously you're targeting the keywords with your advertising, but also change your visuals. Make sure that you
Right.
have that in big text on, and a picture. Great gift for dad.
Right. That's
Um,
perfect. Yeah.
and have it on your A plus, have it in your listing images, have it in your storefront. You know, so with all of your creatives, just as you're constantly reviewing your PPC and adjusting, you have to do the same with your creatives.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a perfect example. Right now, we are a week away from Christmas, and I
Yeah.
saw already on the search results page, whenever a brand added like I don't know, a small red flower or whatever, that it's in red color, it immediately stands out from the competition. Such a small change in main image. So even if you do that on A plus, like add all the festival motives, festive motives, like I don't know, trees and whatever, what's in.
Exactly.
So it is immediately uh, paints the picture that that's what you want to do. This is how it looks under the tree. This is how like people are happy using it, or whatever. You know it. So yeah, thank you very much. Can you tell us what would be the best contact for somebody who's interested in really good service that you're providing? We worked together in the past, so how they can contact you? What's the best method?
So either on LinkedIn, I'm always there. You can get hold of me there, or on our website, which is maxamaze.co.co, not .com. There's an inquiry form. If you fill that in, that comes through to us, and we'll come back to you.
Nice, Fatos, and thank you very much for being our guest. And I know that it was very valuable. It was for me. I know it's going to be for everybody else. And I keep telling everywhere I go on the conferences, on these meetings, that this is something that really needs to be. Um, People need to pay more attention to it, because it's easily neglected, because people are just, okay, I have it, that's done, check it and let's move on. But it's actually, that's not it. And it's something that really can make a difference in terms of pricing your product higher and having better conversions. And that's why we do this job. It's about profit. And if we neglect some basics, then we cannot move on, and that can jeopardize our whole business then.
Totally.
Again, thank you very much for being our guest, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you for having me.